Why don't you button up your britches and go home?
How'd you like to try to make me, Mr. Ringo?
Now listen, partner. I come in here minding my own business. Now, how about
10 Westerns of 1950. Continuing a theme today on a random year and 10 Westerns that represent this year. Another bag of interesting and entertaining oaters. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Like, share and subscribe. You know the drill. Let's get into it. Winchester 73, director Anthony Mann. A Western film noir starring James Stewart, Shelley Winters, Dan Duryea and Stephen McNally. Set in 1876 in a variety of famed Western locations and follows the journey of a prized rifle from one ill-fated owner to another, as well as a cowboy's search for a murderous fugitive. The first Western film collaboration between Mann and Stewart, the first of 8 films that they made together, filmed in black and white, also the first film from which an actor received a percentage of the receipts, a practice known as points, as compensation.
Where is he? Where is he?
Wagon Master, director John Ford. A Western starring Ben Johnson, Harry Carey Jr., Joanne Drew, and Ward Bond. The story follows a Mormon pioneer wagon train across a treacherous desert to the San Juan River in Utah. The film inspired the US television series Wagon Train, 1957 to 1965, which starred Bond until his death in 1960. A personal favorite of Ford himself, who told Peter Bogdanovich in 1967 that, along with The Fugitive and The Sun Shines Bright, Wagon Master came closest to being what I wanted to achieve. Critical and audience response to Wagon Master was lukewarm on its release. Over the years, numerous critics have come to view it as one of Ford's masterpieces. A Ticket to Tomahawk, director Richard Sale, a Western starring Dan Daly and Ann Baxter. It was released by 20th Century Fox. Marilyn Monroe appears in one of her earliest roles. In 1876, Johnny Jameson, Dan Daly, a drummer, travelling salesman, was the only passenger on the inaugural run of the Tomahawk and Western Railroad's narrow-gauge train through the Colorado Rockies. The train is pulled by the Tomahawk and Western's only locomotive, a Baldwin 10-wheeler named Emma Sweeney.
He busses her lips.
Yes.
When a girl gets to be your age, it means, well, it means she ain't quite the same here and there like she was before she reached your age. You know?
Their roaring stories stormed across the West and made it bust out laughing. Wild engines, wild wild women, in the most fundraising twosome that ever changed the Badlands into the Gladlands.
Singing Guns, director R.G. Springsteen. A Western starring Vaughn Monroe. The film features 3 songs by Monroe. Mule Train, one of the songs featured in this 1950 Republic Western, and sung by Monroe, was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Song in 1950, but lost out to Mona Lisa from Captain Carey, USA.
Got a lot of sand in your craw, fella. Here's to you.
Thanks.
Wouldn't even harm a fly.
Sierra, director Alfred E. Green. A Western starring Wanda Hendricks, Audie Murphy and Burl Ives. The film was based on the 1937 novel The Mountains Are My Kingdom by Stuart Hardy, Jeff Hazard, Dean Jagger, and his son, Ring, Audie Murphy, lead an isolated existence in the mountains, breaking horses. Because Jeff is wanted for a murder he did not commit, their lives are interrupted when they stumble upon a young woman lawyer, Riley, Wanda Hendricks. When Jeff is injured, Ring has to go into town to get help. Rio Grand. Director, John Ford. A western starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. The third installment of Ford's Cavalry trilogy, following Fort Apache, 1948, and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, 1949. Wayne plays the lead in all three films, as Captain Kirby York in Fort Apache, then as Captain Nathan Brittles in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, and finally as a promoted Lieutenant Colonel Kirby York in Rio Grand. Rio Grand's supporting cast features Ben Johnson, Claude Jarman Jr., Harry Carey Jr., Chill Wills, J. Carroll Naish, Victor McLaughlin, Grant Withers, the Western singing group The Sons of the Pioneers, and Stan Jones.
Hit the Apache and burn him out. I'm tired of hit and run. I'm sick of diplomatic hide and seek.
On wreckage and ruin. Still the same Kirby.
Jeff must learn that a man's word to anything, even his own destruction, must be honored.
Montana. Director, Ray Enright. A western starring Errol Flynn, only the second time Flynn played an Australian on screen, the first time being Desperate Journey, 1942. The film was Flynn's fourth and final pairing with frequent co-star Alexis Smith. A narrator tells of the great wars that raged in Montana Territory over the grazing of cattle versus sheep. Men on both sides of the battle died, but eventually it was the sheep herders who were driven out. Morgan Lane, Flynn, an Australian sheepman, rode to Montana Territory in 1871. He and his men come across a sign declaring that any sheep herders crossing the line into the area will be shot on sight, as the surrounding plains are strictly for cattle grazing. The men set up camp for the night just before the border. During the night, their young, unarmed Mexican watchman is shot dead by a local gang of cattle raisers.
Your man shot down my herder in cold blood.
You either get out of town or you get the same thing as he got.
I told you move across that valley of mine, I'd kill you.
The Gunfighter. Director, Henry King, 23rd Academy Awards.
Please, Hunt, let's don't have no trouble here now.
I'll ask him myself. I want you to settle a little argument, Mr. Ringo.
Why should I?
You've got quite a reputation for such.
The Furies. Director, Anthony Mann. A western starring Barbara Stanwyck, Wendell Corey, and Walter Houston in his final film performance, based on the 1948 Niven Bush novel of the same name. Its plot follows the ruthless daughter of a tyrannical rancher in 1870s New Mexico Territory, who struggles with her stake in his estate. The film was a financial failure, but would gain a reputation as a Freudian Western, and is recognized among man's greatest contributions to the genre.
And my dear, please remember, you will always be welcome at the Furies. There will always be a room for you, won't there, Temple?
Ah! Do you want me to beg? Do you want me on my knees to you for his life?
I'd hang him anyway.
It's me you should have hung. Take a good long look at me, T.C. You won't see me again until the day I take your world away from you.
Broken Arrow. Director, Delmer Daves. A western starring James Stewart, Jeff Chandler, and Deborah Paget, based on historical figures, but fictionalized their story in dramatized form. Nominated for 3 Academy Awards and won a Golden Globe Award for Best Film promoting international understanding. Film historians have said that the film was one of the first major westerns since the Second World War to portray Native Americans sympathetically.
I started into the canyons that were the beginning of Cochise's country.
never hurt again. Your life will be long. The good things will be yours. The sun will shine for you. I thought you were skinning yourself.
No.
I hope you enjoyed the video.
No.
Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and
I
subscribers.
saw you through this.
Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
I'm a fly.
Interesting facts about famous people.